Hi everyone, and welcome to Yum's Cuisine Island Treasure Pot. If you enjoy dishes from different cultures, ethnicities, and countries, then this channel is for you. Please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you can see every time I'm uploading. Like, share, and comment. So on our menu today, we have fry bake, and I'm going to be showing you how to make it 2 ways, not one. Fry bake is a local bread here in Trinidad and Tobago, and it pairs beautifully with saltfish boljol and baigan choka, even cheese. So let's get into our ingredients for today. I have in this bowl some Cookeen as well as some margarine butter, some dry yeast, sugar, milk, melted butter, baking powder, salt, some water, and this is lukewarm water, my first batch of flour, and my second batch of flour. So I'm gonna first activate the yeast. So in my cup here I have my lukewarm water, and to this I'm going to add my yeast. And all the measurements with these precise ingredients will be listed in the box below. So I added there my yeast, and I'm going to add my sugar, as well as some salt, and this is going to activate your yeast. Now you don't want your water too hot because it's going to kill the yeast, and you don't want it cold because the yeast wouldn't activate. You want it to be just a little bit warm to touch. So I'm just going to stir that, and then I'm going to set my yeast to start activating. So I'm back, and as you can see here, my yeast has started its activation. If you can see the rise in the foam, and there's a lot of bubbles going on in there. So now I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to get my flour and baking powder ready for the butter. So I'm adding here my butter to my flour and baking powder mix. And this is a melt down of Cookeen and margarine. So that's why I'm going to add some milk. And this milk is for flavor. This milk is going to add a lot of flavor to this fry bake. Now you don't want too much liquid in here because of the amount of flour we have. And I'm going to put to this my activated yeast mix. So this now I'm just going to bring the flours from the ends to the center and combine to form my dough. Just want to drag that flour to the center, stirring it in. And now if you find that your mixture is too soft, you will always add flour to get it to the right texture. You don't want a tough texture, but you don't want a texture that is too soft or damp. So as you can see here, I can already tell that my mixture is a bit too soft. So I'll be adding a 1/4 cup additional flour to this mixture. 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup. So I'm adding my flour here, and I'm going to continue to mix it. So I'm going to mix this to form a dough ball. As you can see here, my dough ball is formed, and I'm just going to set this aside for approximately 20 minutes or until it's doubled in size. I'm also going to be using some cling wrap to seal my bowl. If you don't have cling wrap, you can use a damp kitchen towel to do this as well. So I'm back, and as you can see, the dough has doubled in size, and now I'm just going to give this another knead. See all those bubbles? Is an indication that it's well risen. So I'm just going to knead this one more time, and then I'm going to set it aside. So I'm just going to dust some flour on it, and I'm going to knead it. Now this kneading is going to help to smoothen the dough, because you don't want a rough dough, you want a smooth dough. So I'm just going to smoothen this, and I'm going to set it aside and start the next mixture for our fry bake. Now here I am with my flour, and to this we are going to add our Cookeen and margarine. And if you notice, this set isn't melted because we are going to be using our fingertips, and we're going to be mashing it up into the flour. And you're going to mash this into a crumbly consistency until it's well incorporated into this flour. Now that is done, I'm going to be adding my baking powder, my salt, my yeast, my sugar, and I'm going to combine that well, making sure that all the ingredients are evenly distributed. And I'm going to make a well in the center here for my liquid. And to this I'm going to add my milk, lukewarm water, and I'm going to combine, bring the flour from the edges to the center, forming a dough ball. Now I started the mixer with a spoon, but then I'm going to get my hand in there to knead the dough. And if there's not enough liquid in there, you could add as you go along. That is always the better option, as you'll have the control as to how much liquid goes into the dough, so that it won't be too moist. I'm just going to mix that in, and then I'm going to combine that all together, forming my dough ball. And you don't want to knead this too tough, you want it to be soft, because you want it to be able to rise properly. So I'm just going to put this into a ball, and then I'm going to set it aside to proof. I'm going to be using this time though, just to show an example, I'm going to be using a damp kitchen towel. So look at what we have here. Our two dough rise and ready for frying. before frying though, we need to ball them. Now look at these textures, bouncy and soft, so you know you're gonna get really good fry bake. So let me start first with my first mixture. I'm gonna dust this board with flour so that my dough wouldn't stick to the board, and then I'm gonna ball them. So to form my balls, I'm squeezing my dough between my thumb and my index finger. You don't have to do it this way. You can pinch off the dough to the size that you prefer. Ta-da! And here the dough balls are done. So I'm just gonna set these aside once again to rise, and I'm gonna be back to roll them out. So as you can see, it's already set aside, and now I'm going to roll them out. And you want to be gentle because this dough is soft, and you want to get it flat, not too flat, but you want it flat so that when it goes in the oil, it's going to poof up. So I'm being very gentle with my dough. As you can see, you always want to be careful with your dough. So I'm going to continue rolling out my dough balls flat, and then I'm going to set those aside to rise again, and then I'm going to go to the pot. As you can see here, I've already fried some of the bakes. So I'm going to show you exactly what goes on during this process. So as you can see, I'm basting the top, and that's going to help with the proofing of the bake. Now this is how you know you have a well done bake, or float as we like to call it. You see how it rises and it's round like a ball, and you want to turn this over when it's to the color that you like. I like mine a bit light because then it makes it soft. So I'm going to turn it over, tilting to the edge occasionally to get that brown color throughout. And it's that simple. Fry bake, homemade. Yeah? And this oil is hot, people, so you want to be very careful. You just turn to the sides occasionally so that those sides could get a color as well. And then you take it out of the oil when it's the color that you desire. And it's to the color that I desire here. So I'm going to take this out of the pot. And you want to drain out that oil. So thank you guys once again for your continued support. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and tell a friend if you enjoyed watching this video. Bye.